All right, now it's time to start sketching in my setup. So I'm going to sketch in my big black object first because that's what I'm just more interested in sketching in. About right here is where the pestle is, and I'm just sketching this in lightly. This goes about over here, comes down and around about there. The onion is in somewhere around here. It's got that. The onion's not quite as big as the, but let's see. So I'm going to put that in about right there. And this is going to go across. It's going to have something of a sense of a circle in perspective. That's going to come down like this is about where that more pestle is. Down like this, over here, back here, maybe this is a little bigger. Comes down in here. Across like that. I've got quite a bit of that bowl out here like that. This comes out here, and then the little piggy's ears go out to about here. Maybe it's a little higher along here, keeping it vertical. About here, piggy's ears goes about to here. Then down like this, the its head is somewhere in here like this. A little bit of space, looking at the negative space in between there. It doesn't quite go all the way to the same line as the ear. It's got a little bit of a sense of a nose in there. This comes around like this. Got another ear. Then the piggy's neck ties into the side of the bowl about there. Comes down around like that and makes the bottom of its snout. It's got another ear up here, a little lower than the side of the bowl. Coming around like that, something like that. And then this comes down and is higher than, it intersects the middle of the onion about right like that. This is going to come down here. This onion is actually at the back of the bowl somewhere here. So this probably actually comes in a little more. Yeah, that's probably more of a slope. Not so much that I need to move the onion, I need to move where I'm considering the bottom of the piggy. That's about where the onion is, somewhere over here. About somewhere down here is maybe the, so this might actually come down a little more over here. White of the onion might be somewhere over there. The side of the bowl hyperextends the side of the onion, so I want to make sure I keep the onion inside of here. Down here somewhere, about like this, comes over, gets a little flat in through there. Got some shadow of the pig belly going on down here, pig leg up here. This is above, intersects about right there. This comes in through here, about like this. Then that pig arm bowl goes all the way up to part of the neck, comes back through. Then the little arm, which is one of the legs of the bowl, comes down and goes about right here. I come down in here, and this is about where the jalapeno is. And let's see how the shadow of that onion is about right here. Got that jalapeno in through here. That goes, and it's the side of it hooks through there. This is where that jalapeno is a little Maybe that's out a little too far. That comes in like that. That's a little bit of what the jalapeno looks like. Comes up here, goes over like this, and is about right there and through there. Might be drawing the jalapeno a little too big. Then I've got the, I look here at that edge of the bowl of the pig. I want to go about here with the lemon. It comes in and it intersects about in here on the orange, higher than the halfway point. Then it slopes down a little bit back here and has a little bit of a bluntness back there. It's intersects again with the, if I look at where it intersects on that onion comes down, it goes a little flatter here, and it's got some, then it moves in through like this, the tip of that. These are where the contour lines are moving. If I look at the negative space that the tomato is making and the shadow of the tomato coming in through here, and I've got the shadow of that onion coming through here. Let's see, that does go about right here. Got about this much, and then a little opening here. This is going to come back a little further back, and it does have a nice little slope there. This goes here, comes up like this, goes around like this. Again, that nice circle in perspective that the piggy bowl makes. The bowl of my molcajete. Look at a little bit of a negative space that's created between the shadow shape of the onion and the shadow shape of the tomato. This is going to go somewhere underneath that tomato. That's about where the top of the tomato is. In through here like this. This goes up a little more, so maybe I have my lemon at the wrong angle. I'm going to put it there, see if I like it there. It comes down here. The tomato goes here. If I look visually, the tomato comes out a little farther than that, so that means this is going to be at a slightly different angle, up like that, come across here, and down. And I think that's going to be accurate enough. If I look at where that line that separates the horizontal surface from the vertical surface goes, that intersects just slightly above the top of the lemon and intersects at the bowl somewhere slightly above where the contour of that back leg is. So I'm going to take that in through there. This angle comes about here through the piggy, and it does intersect about there. It comes out here. So I think, this still, I think this is out just a little too far. That's going to come out about like that. And I'll take this all the way over to this edge. Then the back edge of that wall is somewhere on the piggy about right there. If I look at where that shadow is off of the pig's ear, I am putting in my shadow shapes now. This comes around like this. Does this with the wall, and it's not entirely continuous because there's a little bit of distortion because of the way the two surfaces, the vertical and the horizontal surface, there's a little bit of the distortion of the shadow because of those surfaces are going in different directions. So then that is the shadow shape of the piggy ear on the wall, comes around like this and goes down and like that. The vine charcoal, the willow charcoal, is a really good charcoal to sketch with because you saw how easily it moves around. There's a little white kind of space, or the white of the surface showing through there, and then the piggy's shadow intersects with it about here. It's higher than the leg. Then I've got, it doesn't quite meet the shadow shape of the onion. I've got a little bit of that over here, this comes around here. The jalapeno is actually in here, so I'm like struggling with where that jalapeno is actually located. Maybe I'm going to move it in about here and get rid of it back there. But I just feel like something's off with this, and maybe I'm just going to have to be okay with it not being perfect because it's drawing, not perfection. So that I'll go in here, reestablish that, get this to curl around, and the it comes down like this. Then that shadow shape is, if I look at that, the way it intersects, where does it intersect? It gets darker under here, goes around like this, and then the looking at the difference between the using like the shape of the shadow and the white of the paper, it actually comes in hooks around back here. I felt like I was going to put it back here, but when I look at the space between the stem and the white of the paper, and then use the black, looking at it as if it were a the black of the shadow, I can see it really belongs over here instead. So now I'm going to put in some of the shadow shapes of the bowl. It's darker here. If I look here, I've got this shadow shape in there. This comes in through there. This comes back like this. I've got and there's a little leg on this bowl. Comes up like this and cast a dark shadow and goes around like that. And then even back here on the back of the bowl, there's a cast shadow. There is a cast shadow that goes across the pestle for my, in my molcajete. This is that round bottom, so it's a circle in perspective, and I'm looking at the bottom of the cylinder. So even though it is not like a completely balanced cylinder, it is still cylindrical. So I'm still going to use the principles of a circle in perspective in order to establish the forms, and I'm going to consider it like that and still look at this as if it's an ellipse. So I've got another, I did something of a sense of the way the contours are in this onion here. I'm going in here, blocking in a little bit of the shadow shapes that I see here. This is the light center of that tomato. It splits like that, and then there is a reflected light there. It gets dark in through here, and then I've got a highlight off over in this direction where that direct light is hitting it, and it gets a little dark in through here. And again, that's following the contour of the tomato. Then I've got a little bit more of the dark shadow actually falls dark underneath there and comes out over here, goes up like that. That is the lemon still. Let's see, I've got where it can come in through here and go down here, and this is where the highlight of the lemon is going to be, so I'm going to wind up lifting that. This is about where the halfway mark of that lemon is, and then I've got some values I can stick in over here on the let's see, do I have, yeah, so that does go back like that, and then this comes in through there, and that'll get me the shapes I'm looking for. And then everything sort of fits. You know, that jalapeno is off, so yeah, I guess sometimes jalapenos are just going to have to be off. Maybe I move that leg a little forward, and I feel fairly happy with the shape relationships that I've established here. It looks fairly good, and need to come in through here. I've got a dark shape in through here where I've got cast shadow going, and then down here I've got a highlight in here, so I'll be using that area. as a highlight. This lets me know this goes a little flatter in here and down like that. All right, so that's my sketch. The next video is going to be where I am going to have it a little bit more advanced because I'm going to be filling this out in my classroom. So the next video is going to be where I go in and do the details, because this one again is where I'm stopping for and I'm going to move it forward and it'll be recorded in class, but I'm not going to put that up on YouTube because it's a different format I'm filming it in. All right, see you guys soon.